Are you tired of feeling like a broken record, repeating, then shouting the same instructions over and over again? Yelling at your child can feel like the only way to get her to listen, but it doesn't work and even makes things worse. Let's learn some basics of empowered parenting and explore a more effective approach for you. There are no magic tricks in this video. There never are magic tricks in parenting actually. But we will get to a strategies that you will have to personalize for you and your child and will be able to apply to many challenging moments to turn them into peaceful and precious time together. So, what is yelling made of? Yelling is a combination of a raised voice and either a command or a threat. It's used as a last resort when we feel frustrated or powerless. When do we yell at our children? We yell when we can't find another way to make our child do what we want. We say, she doesn't listen. But the truth is that we don't want our child to sit quiet and listen. We want her to behave as we ask. And when we yell, we move from asking to commanding. What are we trying to achieve when we yell? Yelling aims to get rid of an unwanted behavior and make the child do what we want. For example, stop messing and put on your shoes. We hope our loud voice finally gets through and we achieve the desired result. Our child does what we ask. The truth is that our child did hear us the first time. It's not that the volume wasn't high enough for her to hear us. That's when we add a command or a threat, because we know that just repeating the same thing in the same way won't bring results. The aim is that our child is intimidated or scared enough to behave as we ask. But this isn't the reason she should behave the way you ask, not because she is scared. What are we actually achieving when we yell? Keep in mind that the best way to teach a child is to show or model a behavior. She will replicate it, especially if repeatedly exposed to it. So when we yell repeatedly, we are teaching our child that to make someone do what she wants, she needs to yell. Learning that the way to get to disagreement is yelling is going to make your child a person who yells too, probably also when she will be a parent. Yelling is a power over approach. We use our power over our child. We overpower her. We become the big bad wolf and we hope that our little pig feels intimidated or even scared enough to behave as we want. In this way, we are also teaching her that if someone raises their voice, she needs to obey. And this is not always a good thing. Emotionally, we are teaching her that what she feels in that moment doesn't matter because she has to move on to comply with our command. Telling or showing our child what she is feeling doesn't matter leads her to think that she doesn't matter, that she's not worth of patience, love, time together, for example. Why do you yell? This is a question that you need to ask yourself. What is the need that you are answering to when you yell? The need of being respected? The need of being in control? Are you replicating how you were raised? In this last case, you need to dig deep and back in time and try to remember what you felt when your parents yelled at you to make you behave. Can you remember how that felt? Can you see any trait in you that is a consequence of that as a parent and an adult today? To change our behavior, we need to understand it first. If you yell because you can't stand not being respected, ask yourself what respect means, and then if your child is really disrespecting you when she misbehaves and you are triggered to yell. Same if you yell because you need to be in control. What does it mean? And why do you need to always be in control? This that we have been shortly through now is a work of self-discovery that is very important. Okay, now you will be thinking, thank you for all this knowledge, but how do I get my child to behave without raising my voice? First of all, every parent raises their voice from time to time. The important thing is that this is not your usual way of communicating in stressful situations, and then when it happens, you repair. Very important. Now, let's go together through the 5-step peace process for responding to any parenting scenario. Presence. Be present with yourself and your child. Empathy. Try to understand your child's feeling and perspective. Acknowledge what is true. Acknowledge your child's feeling and the situation. Conscious communication. Use calm and respectful language. Exploring solutions together. Work with your child to find a solution that works for both of you. Please note that this peace process is by itself the subject of one of my classes. Here it is applied to the example we were going through together. Stop messing and put on your shoes. But no, this can be applied to any similar situation, also with older children. For example, it's time to turn off the TV and comes at the table. Please get off your phone, we are off for a walk together. Now, you have been saying 2 or 3 times the same thing without having results. You should first of all be present with yourself. That means to focus on having your child put on her shoes without doing another 3 things if she's not listening already. Because if you're doing other 3 things at the same time, your child feels that you're not paying attention to her, and why should she pay attention to you? Then, kneel down at your child's level, softly create a physical contact to get her attention, hand on shoulder, for example, and say what you think she's feeling and relate to that. I can see you're really frustrated. You were enjoying playing with your car so much, and I'm asking you to stop. I'm so sorry, we don't have time, we really need to go now. Check on yourself and acknowledge how you're feeling in that situation. Frustrated, tired, whatever else. Learning to name emotions is another big subject, and you don't need to change what you feel. You need to learn to stay with the emotion and not be driven by it. What are the solutions you two can come up with together? More time to play with the car when back home? Take the toy with you? Be creative. You want your child to put on her shoes and move on. Give her something she loves, like a toy or a healthy snack or a drink to have in the car, but be careful not to make this become a reward. Look, I know this approach requires time, but remember, you can transform your relationship in just 6 weeks. You need to spend time relearning and repatterning with your child. You can't expect her to do it by herself. You are in charge, which means that these transformations need to start with you. Start now with this peace process. And let's talk about your experience on your complimentary call with me. You'll find the link in your email. You've got this. The yelling will calm down. I really look forward to speaking to you.